Thanks for joining us today. We have lots of great interviews in store for you. We have sat down with some of the most popular names from politics to Hollywood, so you don't want to miss out.
SandalMediaGroup.com.
As you know, President Barack Obama has visited the Detroit area several times. We now bring you his address to the NAACP dinner in Detroit.
SandalMediaGroup.com.
That is still to be fulfilled. For people that's sick and tired of being sick and tired, whether on the Tuesday he thinks it's because I've been humble. Maybe I don't like talking at the preachers. I can talk pretty good for a politician. But when you compare me to a preacher, sometimes I fall short. So I try to avoid these comparisons. But what a magnificent introduction. What a magnificent event. I am so grateful to be invited to have the great honor of addressing you this evening. I want to begin by thanking Reverend Anthony for all that he does on behalf of Detroit, all that he does on behalf of this congregation, everything that he's done, his hard work to pull this gathering together. Congratulations, Reverend Anthony, for his outstanding work. I want to send a shout out to the great governor of Michigan, one of my favorite governors, Governor Granholm. We love you all across the country. We appreciate what you do. Thank you, Mayor Patrick. He had to run, but his mama's around here somewhere, and I'm grateful to her too. She is doing outstanding work day in and day out, along with the dean of the Black Caucus, John Connors. I want to congratulate the two Freedom and Justice Award winners, Ms. Gaddis, Ms. Featherstone, for all the outstanding work that you do in the community. One of the things that I love about dinners like this is it acknowledges the heroes and heroines of our everyday lives. They don't get on TV all the time. They don't have their names in the newspapers all the time. But everybody who is touched by their service knows their heroic work. And it's nice to see them acknowledged in front of such a magnificent crowd. So congratulations to both of you. And finally, let me acknowledge my two colleagues from the state senate. Michigan is fortunate to have two of the greatest senators in the country. Two people who, day in, day out, are fighting the good fight on behalf of the values that we care about. Fighting on behalf of civil rights. Fighting on behalf of education. Making certain that we have social insurance programs like Social Security that cares for our elderly and our aged, our vulnerable. People who all the time display the kinds of values that make us proud of the United States Senate. So I just want to because of the 50th anniversary of this freedom funding. Founded at a time when we were constantly reminded how the world around us was separate and unequal. The idea of equal rights for black folks was almost a contradiction of terms. Lunch counters, bus seats, water fountains, the luxuries we had to fight for, march for. 50th anniversary of the freedom funding reminds us just about how far our struggle has come. But I have to say that I was hesitant when I saw that I was receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. Somebody asked me when I was being sworn in, how does it feel to make history? And I have to say that I didn't feel like I had made history. I won an election, and there's much work to do. And I'm hoping that my lifetime, at the end of it, I can look back and I can say, I gave some measure of comfort to the afflicted. That I made certain that our children have the road paved for success for them. I want to make sure that I'm working as hard as I can on behalf of the people of Illinois and all across the state and all across the country, but I've got a lot of work to do. I don't consider my lifetime work yet to be done. And I was reminded of this particularly because just last month I had the honor to go to Atlanta to speak at the 65th birthday celebration of one of our fellow Congressman John Lewis. Many of the luminaries of the civil rights movement were down there. I had the great honor of sitting between Ethel Kennedy and Coretta Scott King. Both turned to me before I gave the keynote address at this celebration and said, we're really looking forward to hearing you speak. And I got to say, I was a little intimidated when Coretta Scott King and Ethel Kennedy say, we're looking forward to hearing you speak. And as I stood up next to John Lewis, not a giant in stature, but a giant in compassion, a giant in courage, I thought to myself, never in a million years would I have guessed that I would be serving in Congress next to John Lewis. And then I thought, there was once a time when John Lewis would have never guessed that he'd be serving in Congress. There was a time not long before that when people might never have guessed that someday black folks would be able to go to the polls at all and pick up the ballot, make their voices heard, and elect that Congress. But we can't. And many of us are here because people like John Lewis believe, because people like John Conyers believe, because people like Mr. Featherstone believe, because people like Rosa Parks believe, because people fear nothing and risk everything on behalf of those beliefs, because